Hello, everybody. Joining me today is Tanvi from Pune, Parusha from Himachal, and I'm Nishchay, and we are a bunch of kids who have nothing to do on a Tuesday. So I guess that's who we are.
I'm not a kid, just a disclaimer.
Well, we're all kids.
I'm feeling pretty old today.
I look like one though, not a kid.
So, starting with Tanvi works in a marketing agency, right?
In an advertising
In an
agency, yeah.
advertising agency. Parusha is still a student, and I graduated last year, and now I'm working slash not working at the same time. So that's debatable. My work is always debatable. And today we are discussing something really important yet funny, because it is presented as a joke in our country, and that's called body shaming. And I believe all of us at some point of time may have been the part of the bully gang or the victim gang at this, like at one point of life, right? So let's begin. शुरू किया जाए.
Yeah.
Right. ठीक है. तो सबसे पहले, as we were discussing, तो there have been times when, while we were growing up in the school, it started from school, it started from our family, as we remember. कि अगर आप बचपन में, जैसे I was a very chubby kid, ठीक है. तो सबसे पहले ना आदत क्या होती थी घर वालों को बोलने की, हेल्दी है, ही इज हेल्दी, इज नॉट, ही इज जस्ट अ वेरी प्लम्प हॉरिजेंटली चैलेंज्ड किड, समथिंग लाइक दैट. पता नहीं क्या क्या बोलते थे माँ बाप. And when I grew up, I turned out to be a very skinny guy. तो स्कूल में जाते जाते वही आगे शुरू हो गया कि तू कितना पतला है या तू कितना मोटा है, which leads to bullying. राइट. तो मेरा तो स्टार्ट हुआ था फ्रॉम प्लम्प हेल्दी किड टू अ वेरी स्किनी गाय, जिसको सभी आके यही बोलते थे. एवरी टाइम माय फ्रेंड्स मीट मी यही पूछेंगे, तू बहुत पतला हो गया पहले से. आई गेन्ड 5 kgs. अरे भगवान. मैं अभी लॉकडाउन में अपने दोस्तों को मिलने गया था, वेयर आई यूज्ड टू वर्क, नाउ आई एम एट होम, राइट. मैं मिलने गया तो कह रहे, यार यू हैव लॉस्ट वेट, यू लुक सो वीक. 5 किलो में बढ़ा कर आया हूँ घर से. And that's going on. I'm what, 23 now, and वो चल रहा है मेरे साथ since the beginning. So starting from alphabetically करते हैं, Parusha and then Tanvi. How it began for you, like when it began, the story of body shaming in a very प्यारा way in which हमारे families हमें बताते हैं या हमारे दोस्त हमें बता रहे होते हैं.
Just before we go on to this body shaming thing, I really want to put it out there because you know it, I know it. I don't think you've told this to a lot of people, but when you created, it's gonna go on BaatxCheet, right?
Yeah, it's gonna go everywhere, international. It's gonna go. Tanvi is with us.
So I just want to make it clear that it's a very lame joke, and my mind thought of it, and I was naive enough to tell Nishchay Handa that I thought of it. When he created this channel, I was like, fuck, Nishchay came up with such a creative name for the channel because the channel has BaatxCheet.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's BaatxCheet. That's okay. That's so creative of him. Apparently, I was at fault. I just want to put it out there so that Team BaatxCheet just becomes a thing now.
We're not friends, by the way. We're just not friends. I also invited her. कैसे आ जाओ, but I don't know her at all. So, please, Parusha, after your such pretty lame joke, can we start with the answer?
Sure.
Yes.
Body shaming, I do not exactly remember the first instance as to when it would have happened, but it was sort of always an air around me, from family, from parents, from relatives here and there, from school, but it never got to me. Like, it wasn't a thing always in the back of my head, oh, there's something not, I wouldn't say not right, but not right according to the general norms. And I think after my 10th standard somewhere, I was like, oh, so they're trying to say something here. and probably
Yeah,
not in a nice way.
exactly.
Because I think that's when the purview of your understanding about things, about words, it just widens up a bit. You
Yeah.
get like after my 10th standard, I just went out and I was like, oh, this is probably not something nice, and this is what they're doing is wrong. I remember some of the comments. One of my really good friends, I'm like best friends with that person, and he made some comments which in retrospect I was like, fuck, that's really fucked up. Holding grudge against that person maybe not right, because children are fucked up, man. We
बच्चों से
people
नहीं
speak
पता है.
all sorts of
Yeah.
shit. uh, but yeah, with family as well, you don't wear that, you don't wear this might not look good on this. So it's never a particular incident, I think. It's always that air around you, which at one point you realized and you're like, okay.
Yeah. I have a point to add here. घर वालों का क्या रहता है ना, घर वाले बहुत प्यार करते हैं हम लोगों को, so they will not say anything directly. They will say कि ये टॉप मत पहनो, थोड़ा है ना, अगर बाहर जाओगे तो थोड़ा और दिखेगा कह देते हैं, and then they're like, okay, burn my clothes. Anyway,
With me, most of the time it was like, why do you need to wear that? Like, but I like it. It's a
exactly.
nice top, I want to wear it.
Basically पहले पता नहीं रहता है कि this is how it starts, and then when you realize and thought ये आता है कि is it too late, ये हो क्या गया ऐसे, and then you try to improve either yourself कि नहीं, maybe they are right, I need to gain some weight or I need to lose some weight, or then there's a time we realize कि नहीं, मैं जैसा हूँ मैं वैसा ही हूँ, ठीक है ना ऐसा, why are you not accepting me? तो इसका phases है, I guess this is how we learn. Tanvi, what is your first experience of this? How did it all start for you?
I think so. My like immediate family, like my parents and my brother, always subtly tried to tell me all these things. कि ठीक है, take some good care of your health, and you can do a little bit of more exercise. But my relatives went like, they are so blunt, like they would say directly कि it seems like you haven't eaten for days the way you are eating so much, and like it feels
Yeah.
like an animal has been unleashed on the food. And these things, telling like a kid who is like actually hungry, is like just super mean. And that kind of stayed with me. My parents were pretty subtle about it, so it didn't hurt me. And I knew that they were coming from somewhere where they wanted to protect me from the world. That's why they tried to, already build up this wall for me so that I don't get affected by what people say. But in turn, it actually kind of affected me, and it always remained in my subconscious. And one thing that I distinctly remember is PT class in school, where weight used to be checked. And I was
Yes.
so petrified कि मुझे नहीं जाना scale पे, because there are so many people around. Someone or the other is going to take a look at what my weight is, and that's just going to ruin my day, because everyone is going to start teasing me. So I always, like, I think for 4 5 years straight, I tried avoiding going for that PT class when this entire thing was happening,
Oh.
just so that I don't have to be on the receiving end of bullying. And kids in my school were, especially boys, were pretty, I don't know why, but they used to take pleasure in bullying people. So be it someone who is extremely thin and someone who is fat, they would not think twice before saying or calling them names. So that kind of really uh, took a hit on my confidence overall. Yeah. So that would, I think, probably school was probably one of the most traumatic
Where it
experiences
all
for me
started.
when it came to, yeah, body shaming. And
So,
relatives just
yeah.
added earlier onto it.
In college, we know we are bullied because what is up with the bullies that they don't grow. This is what I was thinking one day, and I was just realized कि इनमें इतना दिमाग नहीं है. They are still coming up with those fat guy jokes or very thin jokes or those simple jokes, lean jokes जो तुम 10वीं में छोड़ देते हो. So, how was it for you guys? Did you find the same environment in college? or you came up, met some people who were understanding, and something better happened, or it was just the same. And to follow up with that, there's a lot of negative self-talk which starts when we start facing, when we are on the receiving end of the bullying. uh, I remember when I came to Ludhiana for my higher educations, in the primary education when it was over, and I came to Ludhiana. I was asked to Bengal se kya? Are you from South? And I was like, and that was my first day of the school. First day of the school, everybody meets me at the end of the day. A very good friend of mine, he asked me, uh, "You just look a little," and I was like, "Okay." That was really weird for me because I never realized that anybody would come to me and say that. And then, with some time, I started receiving those things that you look a little ugly, you look a little black. Uh, so that's how it was for me, and the negative self-talk was always there.
Yeah, I think with me, the negative self-talk, self-destructive humor, so to say, it's just got. I think probably not the right word to say it, but it just got better. Like from a neutral standpoint, I was making better self-deteriorating jokes. I was dissing myself way better uh, as I entered into college. Plus, also, I think when there's a transition from school to college, so the standpoint of this thing, standpoint of body image, changes from a physical aspect to physical and sexual aspect. So now you're worried about how do I look to that one person or the other gender or the same gender
Yeah.
if you're into
Yes,
that.
I get. Yeah.
Inclusivity is,
Yes.
yeah, you want to be presentable to that other gender because acceptance.
Exactly. Exactly.
But then also the sexual aspect comes into the jokes. Now jokes are not physical, now they are more sexual jokes. So plus then you have started a completely different place. It's not your school, probably not even your hometown. Completely different people.
Yeah.
Worldview has changed. Everything is different. So there is stress of other things. Plus to look good. Plus, will I get laid? So
That's
it's a
true.
blend of all of that. It's a blend of all of that, and then overthinking comes into play. And then you start perceiving, okay, this person isn't socializing with me. This person has suddenly stopped talking to me because I look a certain way. Probably that person never ever mentioned that this, I do not like you for your physicality or your body or whatever. But your first thought is it because of that? You probably not check, how you behaved with that person or other things. The first, at least for me, the first thought always has been, am I like good enough to fit in here? And the thing is, I have done it myself, guilty. It has been done to me, and then I'm like, ये तो गलत हो रहा है. When I do it,
उस समय क्या आता था कि दोस्त भी बनाने हैं, वैलिडेशन भी चाहिए, थोड़ा कूल, थोड़ा मतलब थोड़ा सोशल एक्सेप्टेंस मिल जाएगा तो अच्छा लगेगा ना. सबको चाहिए सोशल एक्सेप्टेंस. एंड
most of these people are like really good friends with you.
yeah, exactly. Very good. I can't name, but like fuck you all. I'm sorry, guys. So because they used to teach. I always like first family, then school, then school friends, our society. They teach us in any way, one way or another. We are learning something. So ऐसा रहता था कि यार अभी समझ नहीं आ रहा है, but it took some time, which Parusha said, कि to understand where is this even going. And yeah, so Tanvi, please, I guess.
So I think I kind of got lucky because I went into like a art and design school. I was in Srishti, and just the people I met there. The first day of college, actually, our founder and director of Srishti, she spoke to us, And she said that design community and the art community is a very sensitive group. And it's very important that everyone is going to take a jab at you at some point in life. It's very important that you guys stick together. And that one thing kind of, I don't know if it affected everyone as much as it affected me, but we just all of a sudden, all 130 of us became this bunch of sensitive kids looking out for each other. And I literally never faced bullying from anyone in college. But like there was this exchange program I went for to Hague in Netherlands, and I completely like I faced racism, I faced like body shaming, I faced so many things, and it literally put me in such a dark spot that I don't know. Like I think it just comes down to what values you are taught when you're growing up. And if you're not taught that when you're growing up, it's up to you how aware you are and what you kind of absorb and try to make sense of when you're growing up and make your own judgment as to what is right and what is wrong. So I think I kind of lucked out in that factor that nobody body shamed me in my college. But yeah, there was a time I think when my college was in Bangalore and we were going to Nandi Hills for like a picnic sorts, and some 5 of us were going, and there were these other bunch of college kids from some other college just chilling over there, and I got down and they just started calling like really mean things to me, like "Dekho, elephant eye" and things like that, some shitty things like that. And literally two of my guy friends stood up and like questioned them then and there and made them feel ashamed of what they just said. And I think at that moment I really felt like, okay, I am in a safer space being in my college, and I know that the world could change. And I think my self hatred and self doubt started taking a back seat from then on. And I started believing more that, I need to have my back because I know people will have my back too. Even if not the entire world, few people are going to stand up for what is right, and it's going to translate later on in life at some point. Yeah.
I think I would say I am at completely other end of the spectrum because I am in a law school, and inherently all of them are spiteful people. They will, nitpick everything they can, and probably the issues isn't even related to body image as such, but somehow amidst a debate, it just your body just comes in the way, and if they don't have an argument, yeah, so you look like that. That's an argument. But I think then again, uh, when you're in places like these, in institutions like these, you tend to find that little group, little community within that self. Ki, these are my people, will have my back, and I think I can work with this. So I would say I was in completely different spectrum, completely different end of it.
Yeah, I think the community is very important for you to realize like what your worth is, because I do believe like there's a saying, right? Like you are a combination of the 5 people you chill most with. So I actually believe in that. So if I'm like constantly surrounded by bullies, which I was in school, I used to hate everything about myself. Like I used to prefer being at home because my parents were the most nicest people to me back then. And even they were subtly trying to body shame.
What was your way of, just hitting them back? Or
Like, I don't think I have quite figured out yet how do I fight back,
yeah,
because I know what do I need to do for that. That I need to be okay with myself, which I think you cannot put it into a straight bracket that from today on I am okay with myself. I love my body. It's the best in the world and all that. Because it's day one, I feel nice about myself. Day two, I see Kylie Jenner with her big ass lips. I'm like, no, I want that. So it's a process which is inconsistent in itself. One day you'll feel good, one day you won't. You just have to cash in the day you feel good. That's
yeah.
it.
Tanvi, what do you think about the same?
So for me, I don't know about how regionally it works, because when I was in Bangalore and I used to go out, एक तो language मुझे समझ नहीं आता था, so whatever they said never got registered in my mind. But I'm sure like they were calling me names and things like that. But like, so my best friend stays in Delhi, so I visited her a couple of times, and even like in 2018 end, I was in Delhi for like 6 months for work. So I have seen it to be a little bit more in Delhi, but probably because I understand the language a bit more, and that's why it got to me. And I thought that I have to dress a certain way so that I don't, get these comments from random people on the bike just passing by and stuff like that. So, um, apart from just my safety, I was also worried about just these comments. So, if I would like think twice before going down to 24/7 at 11 o'clock at night, just so that I didn't want to be in a position where I have to hear these things from people. When it comes to coping with family, I think it's a conversation that I need to keep having. But when it comes to people and the
Yeah.
relationships that I've been in, uh, so I faced subtle body shaming from my past partners, which in the beginning, they are like nothing. They won't show that they have a problem with how I am and they love me for who I am. But then they'll start giving these hints out, like my mother was saying that if we have to get married, your fertility might be a problem and shit like that. And I'm like, your mother might say anything. How does that matter? Like, I know how fertile I am. So,
Yes.
I have actually discussed this with my therapist, and she said that it's either an uncomfortable situation where you need to keep having conversation and putting yourself in that mindset and being prepared that this is going to occur again and again, or completely just ghosting from people who affect you. So it's actually your choice to make as to how you want to deal with it. It's either you call that person out and engage in that conversation, which could probably affect your mental state,
Hmm.
or you just like completely shut them out from your life and go on to live blissfully. For me personally, um, because it has affected my mental state so much, like with constant negation from my past partners and relatives and other people, strangers mostly, that I just feel like I need to communicate it more, and I cannot just shut it out and be happy living in my own bubble. I really need to push my thoughts out where some other women can also do the same and feel good about the way they are. So my coping mechanism is a bit difficult because I constantly have that stress on my mind that, am I doing enough, or are my thoughts being translated properly, or just like I, because I'm constantly engaging with this subject, I feel like it kind of just keeps me in that state throughout where I'm not probably getting therapy is helping, but I'm not completely getting out of that state, which could be a problem for my mental state. But I think yeah, I need to tackle both of these. But completely shutting myself out from people is probably not an option for me.
Yeah, I wanted to add here that a lot of people think, and probably I think it because I've done it, that coping with it does not exactly mean that you join their clan.
Hmm.
So when you say that I'm going to cope with it, and then right before they make a comment, you come up with one, so that becomes your defense mechanism, that इससे पहले वो कुछ ज़्यादा spiteful बोले, I'll balance it out with a moderately terrible thing about myself, and because I'll say it, I know my intention, so everything is okay, which it is not. This I think the more harm we do to ourselves is when we do these self-destructive conversations in our head. We speak it out aloud, it is more harmful than somebody saying it to us. So that should be stopped. Regarding what she said about, you know, communicating it and all, yes, I've done that. I write a lot of stuff. So I used to spit it out in whatever I wrote. And I usually, what people do is they write something, then they sit on it and they read it, reread it. My mechanism started, I used to write it, and so there's a blog I have. So I used to write it and I used to post it. So in my head, I wrote something and I let it go. Later, I realized that I was writing what I aspired to be, not being okay with what I actually was. So a lot of stories that I was writing, a lot of characters that I was writing were actually like, I wish I was that person. So thankfully, one of my partners actually really, you know, helped me realizing that it's a very good story you've written here, but this character is something. It's your dream character. It's not you. It's like, yeah, that's wrong. So being the part of the clan, and when you're communicating it, then also you need to, you know, check if what kind of communication is going out.
I used to see these people like Deepika Padukone, yeah, Priyanka Chopra, all very dolled up, all very dolled up. ठीक है, but असलियत में वो हम जैसा ही है. It's just their insecurities made them do that, and now they're just, I guess, out of it or whatsoever. So, what do you think? How, in your eyes, how social media and how this Bollywood culture has fucked our lives?
The other day we were discussing about Komal Pandey as an example. So I've watched that woman from about like 3-4 years back when she was a part of the Popix community, and I used to really like. I, being a 21-year-old, now understand, now have the mental capacity to differentiate that probably I wouldn't go out and wear this, not because it's indecent or it's wrong, it's impractical. But probably a 13-14-year-old would be like, fuck man, this, she looks amazing. I wish I could wear that, and I will wear that. Probably, and it is impractical. I'm really surprised. I was really, really surprised to see that woman took a scarf. She wrapped it around her breast, and she was like, "Oh, that's a top. Now you wear it out." I'm like,
Exactly. Yes.
I would
Oh
love.
my God. Yes. अरे क्या क्या
Yeah, the scarf
traumatizing था
story.
यार वो. That was so. Oh my God.
It is impractical because in practical situations there is wind, there is sweat, it will fall off.
Yep.
But in regards to feminism as well, there is this idea about feminism that social media is creating, that being naked and being okay with the female body, you know, is the voice of feminism. Being okay with the naked female body is a part of feminism, not the entire feministic movement. And a lot of social media influencers, not Komal Pandey particularly, a lot of them, according to them, having that particular body, showing it off all the damn time
Kylie Jenner.
is the correct, yeah,
Sorry,
Miss Jenner.
had to say.
So that is the right way to go. Also regarding the social media thing, no, मैंने बहुत सोचा इसके बारे में, and I realized कि हम क्या करते हैं. We compare our sitting at home in pajamas eating chocolate look to their all dolled up photoshopped in lights look. So I'm sitting here on my phone scrolling Instagram like, fuck yeah, this person is looking so amazing. Kylie Jenner with her all dolled up, you know, look.
उसका
She
चॉकलेट
looks
लुक
so
भी हॉट है
beautiful.
फॉर सम रीजन. एग्जैक्टली योर पॉइंट. उसका चॉकलेट लुक भी ऐसा है, वो ना थोड़ा सा इंफीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स रहता कि
You find it hot, or I
नो
find
नॉट.
it hot because
या
I'm sitting here in my couch, on my couch, in my PJs. Okay,
एग्जैक्टली.
I'm looking trash
What is the
because I
chocolate
chose
look,
to look
just
trash.
for my information?
What?
What is the chocolate look, just so that I know?
चॉकलेट लोग ऐसा कि
Chocolate का
सारा
reference
ऐसा ऐसा मुंह पूरा ऐसा हुआ पड़ा है चॉकलेट से
Oh,
रैप.
अच्छा. Okay, मतलब बस chocolate पहना हुआ.
You do it on your couch now. You'll feel like, dude, I am in depression or something. You covering your face with chocolate. She looks good because they have made a lot of effort. A lot of effort has gone into doing that. So first of all, we need to stop doing this कि अपने couch पे बैठ के 2 दिन से नहाए नहीं है and sulking about somebody जिसके ऊपर इतना पैसा इतना effort लगा है Instagram पे देख के. Because I realized कि the day I was feeling really bad about myself, I was genuinely looking terrible because no shower, it's lockdown. And the day I dolled up, I was like, no, dude, I look so nice. So it's just that कि हमारा comparison from the very basis, from the very foundation of it is baseless. It's wrong.
Whenever Parusha just like takes a shower, she just goes to her terrace and she's like fucking dances on the terrace कि हाँ देखो आज slow mo में video बन रहा है and then there's like and then I call her in the evening कि सुन ऐसा काइली जेनर पे मेरे को थोड़ा बिच करना है. She's like आजा मैं करती हूँ मैं 2 दिन हो गया नहाए हुए मुझे करना है. Want to say this. Tanvi, what do you think? How social media culture, how is this influencing our thoughts? How is it shaping us?
Recently, I came across this one influencer who I don't want to name because I did message her my query and it wasn't responded to. So I just don't want to call her out as he. But like I want to discuss what happened. So she posted a video. She's a fashion influencer, body positive, plus size fashion influencer. And she posted a video about how you can style a corset in multiple ways. And corset is not an apparel. Corset was used historically to mold women to be a certain shape of hourglass figure, and it's not a garment. It's a contraption to look a certain way. And she, as a body positive influencer, is promoting it as a fashion accessory, which I'm not okay with. If she was anyone else, like even if she was Komal Pandey, I would be okay with it because she is taking something and making it into fashion. But when you call yourself a body positive influencer, you have certain responsibilities that you can't tell people that this will give you that nice hourglass figure, which she says it before the video that I love corsets for many reasons. One of them is that it'll give you that hourglass figure, which is like, I don't think I need anything to make my body look a certain way. And if you're saying that, then just don't call yourself part of the body positive community. Say that I am a plus size model and this is what I like wearing and this is how I would like to style it, and I'm just sharing this with you. So I really feel that this body positive community is misrepresented because I think I think people have started thinking of it as a trend and they don't actually believe in it. And they're just using it as a way of getting more followers. I think you need to stay true to the purpose of what body positive means or what you are doing with your art.
Now, I was just discussing it with a friend of mine, and she mentioned that, do you know, like whenever a young kid, let's say a girl, okay, whenever she logs on to Instagram, it's a new Instagram ID, and she was looking for those idols or those influencers to follow on Instagram. सबसे पहले Instagram आएगा, and then comes Kylie Jenner with some around 200 million followers on Instagram, which is a lot. 200 million people is a lot, and I guess in one way or another we are fascinated sometime. We are, or whatever the scenario was, and this is how it begins. Now they see Kylie Jenner, all just dressed up in her that perfect body, that which she attained after like some 13, 25, 6,700 surgeries. I don't know, like. So the point which is a little stuck in my mind is that people who are following her, they feel a little underconfident. First of all, let's talk about the weight. A person with an hourglass figure who posts like 5 times a day, and obviously the Instagram algorithm works this way. First of all, she has 200 million followers. Second, she is posting like 5 times a day. Obviously, that is gonna make her post, work that way, that everybody sees that post. For women followers, they are obviously into that shape where they feel underconfident because of the weight. Second comes down to clothing. Not everybody can just okay. Western culture is way different than ours, which is acceptable. But even in that culture, not a lot of people can just come out in those clothes they want to be because of the body issues, because of their weight, because they just can't fit into it. And that is somewhere I believe it is all fucked up. यहाँ पे this is where a person loses. Either they give up, like maybe I will live my whole life यही सोच के कि देखो भैया I can't be this person, मेरे को ये बनना था, और let's say मेरा ये goal था ऐसा कुछ बन जाऊं, so that I could associate कि yes, see, I lost my weight. Second is this, they change their mind only, like okay fine, I guess I have realized my mistake, which is not a case with everybody. So one thing, Asa, I was discussing with Parusha one day, and I guess thoda sa this is important to talk about because a lot of people have been using face filters, right? So, which I believe Snapchat को पीछे छोड़ दिया Instagram ने. Instagram is leading. Instagram has given you an option that you can create your own filter now. And now people are wanting filters जिसपे यहाँ पे freckles होता है, right here, and they want sunflowers in the background, and the skin goes all just like very in a cute shape, एकदम से exactly मक्खन जैसा नूर आ गया चेहरे पे. Their jawline is so beautiful, like they can just go marry Tiger Shroff right now. I don't know why I'm mentioning Tiger Shroff. I'm so,
Yeah,
I
he's
could.
the new national crush.
Hey,
Is he?
really?
Okay.
Oh my god. Anyway, so face filters, yes. Face filters I use them, but not the ones which will just make me so fucking beautiful. Like, oh my god, I'm ready to just come out with this look now, and I'm this only. Now the bad point here is once you have used that filter, now people appreciate that. Now you have to use that filter only. You just can't use any other filter because how would people see you in your dark circles, Parusha? Or how would Tanvi, how would people see you if you don't use that jawline wala, cut wala face filter? And that builds an insecurity about yourself again. हम लोग कितना sad है. हमारे पास सिर्फ sad बातें करते हैं. I mean, yes, please
I
comments.
think I'm the most guilty about using filters and all.
I knew it.
My Instagram is filled with it. But I think my idea of filters or my intention with filters is, oh, that's a new filter this person has, save it. क्यों मजे आएंगे, नया filter है. My idea is never, yeah, I look good with this. I just don't know. That's not my first thought. Because you must have seen 90% of my filters are like really dumb. Regarding the Snapchat Instagram thing, of course, Snapchat has given birth to most of this filter
She is
bullshit
the
they
mother.
have.
Yes.
Yeah, mama. तो Snapchat के साथ ना particularly जो Snapchat पे filters हैं, my opinion, they are specifically the ones that will make you look a certain way. They chisel your, jawline and everything, make your eyes bigger and brighter face,
Yep.
everything. And I have noticed a lot of beautiful women on my Instagram. I'm friends with them. Some of them I go to college with. Beautiful, beautiful girls. And they use Snapchat. They use the filters. They'll send snaps from there, and they will use those same pictures on Instagram as well, because maintain karna hai ki this is my face. But sweetheart, I know you. I have seen you sweating in college, and you look as gorgeous. You don't need it. You want to have fun with filters? sure, do it because it's really fun. ठीक है, बहुत अच्छा time pass होता है. But you are creating this idea in your head, especially about yourself, that this is my face, this is how I need to look. So वहाँ गड़बड़ हो जा रही है. So I think Instagram is still a little innocent, not too much, little innocent with that. Snapchat has fucked up big time.
Instagram has made the business a little subtle only, I believe. When we used to see it, it all started from
Instagram is
Snapchat
like
only.
distributor.
हाँ,
Instagram is a distributor.
Exactly. What do you think, Tanvi, of these face filters? How, like, are you a fan
I'm
of?
obsessed. I'm obsessed with the Paris filter. I think all my stories have the Paris filter on. But just because तो for me the excuse is कि मैं film background से आती हूँ ना, it just makes the image look prettier. So I have this excuse to give to everyone कि नहीं, but like this angle and like with this, I think this filter will work well and my Instagram story will look prettier. And like, it doesn't have to have my face on it, but like anything, मैं कुछ भी click कर दूँ, I'll like apply that Paris filter and send it off. So it's like become a habit. Yeah. Like in my family, I don't know why I have this like people think I'm self-obsessed, which like I like myself a lot, but they think that I have like perfected the art of taking the best selfie. Which is like कि थोड़ा सा ऊपर angle में.
I guess we all are.
Yeah, so they all want to know कि तेरा चेहरा इतना thin कैसे लगता है on the phone. And I'm like, literally, I just hold it little ऊपर and I click it so your double chin is not seen.
The signs of
so
taking
my mom
selfie.
is yeah. So my mom also has like a double chin. Sorry, mom, if she ever sees this, but yeah.
One final question from my side. Baki, if you have any questions, like we can discuss that also. But one thing I want to discuss separately is about Bollywood culture, because not a lot of people. Let's start from the boomer generation. Not you, Tanvi, again. But not you. You are a little okay. Anyway,
I'm still millennial.
Still a minute. We can that's debatable. Anyway,
most favorite films. Like I love everything about it except how Sweet 2 has been portrayed.
Like, I feel bad.
Why is everyone taking a jab at just her size? Like Frankie को problem नहीं है, उसको अपने में she's happy being herself.
Yeah.
बाकी पूरे world को problem है उसके size से. उसको BST बस बुला रहे हैं, blind date पे कैसे जाएगी ये बता रहे हैं. I think it's one of the most perfectly made films except for this one part. Mm-hmm. And that's just a big downer for me because it's about a plus size woman. I literally love their story. Yeah. I love Frankie and Sweetu ka love story. I think they are very cute. But I don't know Naina ko kyu problem hai wo, why is she being a auntie, which
exactly
thankfully SRK calls out on the ship. Keep mummy ko bhi saath leke aana.
So there's this very nice YouTube channel. I don't know if a lot of people know about it. Tried and Refused Productions. In short, TRP. So that guy, he really likes, analyzing movies and everything. And he is not a typical reviewer because many a times he has called out the absurd things that Bollywood has brought into our lives. And he has a lot of videos about, role of females, role of, Northeasterns or South Indians, all of that. So he has certain videos about how body shaming has become, a running gag in Bollywood. Because if you see बहुत पहले की movies, I just forgot the name of that lady, and very talented actor in the black and white times, very talented actor, and she's plus size. So she is the running gag throughout a lot of movies, that she is something that hero wouldn't want. Also, मतलब दो ऑप्शन है हीरो के पास, ये अपनी एक्ट्रेस है और ये दिस कैरेक्टर एक्ट्रेस है. एक तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल I don't understand why the leading actress needs to be a certain size. I have never seen a plus size male lead, sorry, female lead, or also male lead, so to say, in Bollywood, mainstream Bollywood. It has never been talked about.
I guess they just want to look admirable because that's just how they want to show you. Let's see, this is how heroes are made in the heaven. They
I
just
think
want.
and वो token representation भी बहुत करते हैं, like ठीक है, there is like someone very like someone like Kareena Kapoor as the lead, and उसकी sidekick would be a chubby person just because हमको चाहिए एक chubby character in
Yeah,
that to have the fun, and it is very
supporting
problematic.
definitely supporting actress is always they show that chubby guy या फिर just who plays dumb.
Do you guys remember this phase Indian music was going through, where portraying, those dancers या वो सबको as black people, that suddenly got very prevalent because I watched 2000s का a lot of music videos या 2000s की बहुत सारी movies अगर देखेंगे, जितना मतलब एक तो म्यूजिक रेवोल्यूशनाइज हो रहा था वैसे भी, hip hop is coming, all EDM तो back है, a lot of hip hop especially it was coming, and when I see a lot of those actors, they wanted to portray them as black people, and they are Indians. उनके मुंह पे bronzer लगा के और पूरा bronzer is still probably okay. Literally, they have turned them black, made them wear a curly wig, and that is their representation of black people, because black was probably associated in India as being hip and cool. They have a very rich culture,
Yeah,
very, very rich culture. But and imitation is a form of flattery, agreed, but you cannot do injustice to them, and you cannot portray certain thing in a certain way that has a negative effect on anybody. And coloring somebody a certain way was having a negative effect. On top of that, because colorism is so prevalent in India, coloring somebody's face black would probably, attach more and more of negativity towards them only. Because India में तो काला है,
There was a song also, ना काले है तो क्या हुआ दिल
वो
वाले
दिल
है.
वाले.
So like, why
oh
are you apologizing for?
yeah, there was some difficult time, I guess, Bollywood was going through back in the time, uh, which I believe has changed a little now, but still, the masses want to see that. I believe they want to see a very fair heroine with a good body shape, a rich tone, and then it comes to actors. They want to see those dusky six-pack वाले heroes,
Oil
which are
थोपा
like
हुआ.
oil धोपा हुआ है, and then they just come up ऐसे उड़ते उड़ते आएंगे, गाड़ी वाड़ी को किक कर देंगे, गाड़ी चले जाएगा उड़ता उड़ता somewhere. It's a Rohit Shetty movie, and they would just go somewhere in this, like, do something stupid, and that makes them famous just for looking a little extra with that makeup on, which is where I believe the problem is. And yeah, and
But I think a lot of
Miss-
people are breaking that too. I mean, with
now it has, because it
Ayushmann
is
Khurrana.
now it is, when it is being talked about, it is being broken. I remember when this culture started coming in the Punjabi industry. So if you have heard of Diljit Dosanjh, right?
I
There's
love
this
him.
movie. Yep, exactly, right. We all love that guy. There was this one time in a movie he had those six-pack abs, and there was a scene he was coming in a slow motion with that something on his shoulder. He was carrying something heavy, and there was this in a farm. He was walking in slow motion. That scene was, and I saw that this is influencing everybody. Now they want to see their heroes in such a way. They have six-pack abs only. They don't want to see somebody like Nawazuddin in the lead role. They don't want to see a lot of. There are a lot of marvelous actors in our industry, but just because they don't have that face shape, they don't have that uh, proper toned body, they're just being rejected, I believe. And
Those films get termed as art films then.
Yeah.
Here a lot of role would play जो मीम पेजेस हैं हमारे, एक नंबर के कुत्ते हैं ये लोग. What do they do? Today, if a Rohit Shetty film is coming, SRK, Salman movie is coming, they are going to fill your feed with how amazing this actor is, and the shots from the movie, the scenes from the movie, the dialogues and everything. And all in all, it's a glorification of this one person. And when suddenly the conversation directs towards movies like Tumbad or Nawazuddin movies, so to say, or small budget films like Bareli Ki Barfi or all that, then these same pages who were so vehemently speaking about all these big stars, now they start blaming everybody that you people do not go out and watch their movies, you people are wrong, and they are not being appreciated. And it's a guilt posting that's going on completely.
And I believe not just the movies, meme
In
pages,
most of
meme pages are,
SSR case also.
it's the point I want to discuss, just not the movies, but also meme pages are so much filled with hatred towards people who are fat, who are dark, who, and according to them, who are ugly. When it comes to public, the people, the meme pages who have what, some 100k plus followers, 500k followers, 1 mils, they're always, let's say 80% of them appreciate that joke. They share it with their friends. See, this is what I got. And I guess that's where it is all coming from. It is society, it is meme pages, it is everywhere. We are doomed, guys.
I think it's more to do with WhatsApp forwards. The
Arey.
amount of sexist jokes, and it's just so problematic. The things that my own family members share on WhatsApp groups, it's traumatic. Like I can't imagine. हम फिर भी ऐसे ही on whatever face value ले, if it reaches the wrong people, I don't know how they're going to interpret it and think that okay, it's normal. Only people are joking about getting raped and things like that. And I mean, it's just not okay. Like तुम कहीं से भी आओ, this should not be okay at all. Like I think WhatsApp forwards are like the biggest culprit in our society, and what they think is right and wrong.
The WhatsApp always is so much filled with hate against people. I don't know. It is mostly the angst is against women. If you have seen the family groups में आएगा कि पति ने बोला पत्नी को तुम ऐसा मायके चले जाओ, शांति शेट रहती है.
I am not in any of my family
Oh
groups.
God, I am. I
I am.
Anyway, so I guess at this note, we should end the podcast here. Thank you so much for joining me, Parusha. Thank you so much for joining me, Tanvi. It was really so nice talking to you guys. And I always wanted to know how is it for a woman? Uh, just because women are much more objected to these assaults, I believe, these verbal assaults, which I always call them. That this is I wanted to know. Think I learned something. So this was nice talking to you guys. So thank you so much for joining in, and have
Thanks
a
for
good day.
having me. You
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you both of you.
Thanks,
Bye.
thanks.